Hi, welcome to the BLM conference of 2021. Today, I am going to present the topic Disentangling Organizational Challenges and Change in a Pandemic Through Design Thinking. I am Dr. Jesrina and Xavier, the main author for this abstract and presenter for today. And my co-author is Dr. Manimekalai, Jambulingam. So, what is design thinking and how can it enhance organizational change? We are now in a situation of the COVID-19 impact and a pandemic. So, because of this, there are a lot of challenges, especially economically and financially, on businesses all around the world, including Malaysia. There is a ripple effect that is unfolding on a global scale, and we are still yet to enable ourselves to measure the impact until situation stabilizes. So, once we come out of this challenging and uncertain time, will we recover? How will business go back to usual? And most importantly, how are we enduring these changes in organizations, as individuals, as well as the level of governments? Now, let's look at how design thinking can help. So the advent of design thinking is a tool for problem solving, innovation, and change. And there are some companies that has adopted design thinking. Now, while design thinking focuses on principles and practices in their 5-step method, we would like to know how to disentangle and manage organizational challenges because of COVID-19. So this paper will give a viewpoint of one small business, and it is an SME in Malaysia, which has embraced organizational change to sustain and expand their business during a pandemic using the design thinking methodology. Now, there is one theory that actually can help with organizational change and design thinking. This is called the theory of Lewin's change model. Why is change so necessary? Because COVID-19 has shown us that change is something that is always there, and businesses have to ever evolve. So to evolve, there is a change model. So in Lewin's change model, it is said that there are 3 main steps. The first one is to unfreeze. So in unfreezing, you are recognizing why you need to change, you encourage change, and you understand doubts and concerns. In change, the second step, we plan the changes and implement the changes. All right, so here we look at how we can help employees to manage change. And finally is something we call refreeze. Refreeze is where you stabilize your reinforcements, you integrate the change so that it is normalized, or what we like to call the new norm, and we develop it to sustain the change and celebrate the new changes made. Then we have design thinking. Design thinking has 5 steps. Step 1 is to empathize. Step 2 is to define. Step 3, ideate. Step 4, prototype. And step 5, testing. In empathize and design, what is very important is to find out what is the pain points. You understand what people are going through. And in this case study, we are understanding what the SME is going through. In ideate, we go through a brainstorming process where it involves divergent and convergent thinking. And finally, in the prototype and testing stage, we come up with a solution. We provide a solution and we test it out. Now, in this paper, we are using what we call the Jayawa methodology. Now, why did I use a Jayawa methodology? Because we feel that this method is rigorous enough for a one case study qualitative data analysis. And this method is well defined with a very good process flow in a systematic manner. So we can take raw data via interviews and provide a structural and concrete understanding without compromising quality and authenticity. So here are some of the steps that we use in the Jaiwa method, which is we look at the research design, we articulate the phenomenon. In this case, we articulate it by looking at the situation of change because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Of course, here we also look at literature. Then we collect the data. Our data is collected via an in-depth interview using the design thinking methodology. All right. And we also triangulate it by looking at other sources, such as the reports from the commissions, right? Such as the companies' commissions of Malaysia, as well as newspaper articles, and so on and so forth. Then we do the data analysis. Now, this data analysis is performed in a few manners. Firstly, we have the data coding, which is what we call the first order informant-centric. Secondly, we have the second order, where the second order will comply with the theory, right? So the first one is the information that we got. The second order is the theory, which is our Lewin's change model theory, okay? And we look at the theoretical dimensions. And finally, we come up with what we call a data structure, okay? And then in formulation and articulation of our theory, okay, we formulate the relationship between the second order concept and the data structure, right? So what was the emergent theory from our study? We saw that Lewin's change model with design thinking can help disentangle and manage organizational change. So we looked at Lewin's change model theory with design thinking for organizational change, and we find that the empathy and define stages was a stage of unfreezing by the company. The ideation and prototype was a change for this company. And as we continually choose to test this, we are refreezing it. In conclusion, we would like to say that the novelty of this paper is detailed in the theoretical contribution of Lewin's change model with the practical application of design thinking. And this is very, very apt in a pandemic. This paper is using a single case study. Therefore, it does not lead to a statistical generalization. But I truly believe that it is able to be used in very many businesses. The findings in this case study is a preliminary step in the process of building a general theory which can be used in other similar cases. So thank you so much. We really hope you understood a little bit about design thinking, theory of change by Lewin, as well as how we can make a change in this COVID-19 pandemic. Thank you.